Your body is repairing itself right now. Not because you did anything special. Not because you fasted for 16 hours or took an expensive supplement. It's happening automatically, quietly, invisibly, at the cellular level. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For most people, that repair system is barely running. It's like a factory operating at 20% capacity. The machines are there, the workers are there. Nobody gave the start signal. These 5 foods give that signal. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside you. Every cell in your body accumulates damage over time. Broken proteins, faulty mitochondria, those are your cell's power generators. Cellular waste that builds up like garbage that never gets collected. Your body has a built-in system to deal with all of this. It's called autophagy, from the Greek words for self and eating. Autophagy is your cell's internal cleaning crew. They identify the junk, break it down, and recycle the raw materials into something new and functional. When autophagy is running well, the research is clear. Less inflammation, slower aging, better immune function, more energy, and a meaningfully reduced risk of chronic disease. The problem is that modern life is almost perfectly designed to suppress it. Chronic stress suppresses it. Poor sleep suppresses it. And the biggest culprit? Eating constantly throughout the day, especially ultra-processed foods, keeps your body in a permanent state of build mode, where a protein called mTOR stays switched on. mTOR is the gas pedal for cell growth. Great when you need it. A problem when it never turns off, because autophagy can only run when mTOR quiets down. Most people have heard that fasting activates autophagy. That's true. But what most people haven't heard, because it hasn't made it out of the research journals yet, is that specific food compounds can mimic some of those same signals. They can ease off the mTOR accelerator. They can activate the repair pathways without skipping a meal. Here are the 5 that have the science behind them.
Pick up a blueberry and really look at it. That deep, almost bruised indigo color, the way it stains your fingers, the burst of tart sweet flavor when you bite through the skin. That color is the science. It comes from compounds called anthocyanins, a type of polyphenol, which is a category of molecules that plants produce for protection and that have a profound effect on human biology when we eat them. In your body, anthocyanins activate a protein called NRF2. Think of it as the master switch for your body's internal defense and repair system. When NRF2 gets switched on, it signals hundreds of genes to ramp up antioxidant production, reduce inflammation, and promote cellular repair. Research from the University of Georgia found that blueberry consumption significantly elevated NRF activity and reduced oxidative stress markers in human participants. And a 2022 study found that regular blueberry intake was associated with measurably improved cellular function in adults over 40. Practical tip? About half a cup daily is the research-supported amount. Frozen wild blueberries are just as effective as fresh, and studies suggest they may actually have a higher anthocyanin concentration than cultivated fresh varieties. Blueberries don't just taste like summer. They help your cells feel that way too.
There's a reason the Mediterranean diet keeps appearing in every major longevity study, and a significant part of that reason comes down to this: a high-quality extra virgin olive oil with that grassy, almost peppery burn at the back of your throat. That burn is important. It's caused by a compound called Oleocanthal, and it behaves in your body remarkably like ibuprofen. Same anti-inflammatory pathway, same molecular mechanism, without the synthetic chemistry. But the repair story goes deeper. Extra virgin olive oil also contains a compound called Oleuropein, which activates proteins called Sirtuins. Sirtuins are regulators of cellular aging. They're sometimes called the longevity proteins, and one of their key jobs is to stimulate autophagy. Think of them as the foremen who tell the cleaning crew when to work overtime. A study published in Cell Metabolism showed that Oleocanthal can directly induce autophagy in cells through the same pathway that gives it anti-cancer properties in laboratory studies. Practical tip? 2 to 4 tablespoons per day. Use it cold. Heat degrades the phenolic compounds that make it effective. Drizzle it on finished dishes, use it in dressings. When you buy it, look for a harvest date on the bottle, not just a best by date. Freshness matters enormously with olive oil. That burn in your throat isn't a flaw. That's your cells saying thank you.
Picture a bowl of matcha, that almost electric green, slightly grassy and umami, with a settled calm that arrives about 20 minutes after you drink it. Or a cup of quality loose-leaf green tea, steeping it just below a boil, releasing something delicate and clean. Both contain one of the most studied autophagy-activating compounds in all of nutritional science, EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. Long name, remarkable effect. EGCG works on two fronts. First, it directly inhibits mTOR. Remember, that's the growth accelerator that keeps your body out of repair mode. By quieting mTOR, EGCG creates the cellular conditions where autophagy can run. Second, it activates a protein called AMPK, which is essentially your cell's low fuel sensor. When AMPK activates, it signals your body. Resources are limited, time to clean house and be efficient. A comprehensive review published in the journal Autophagy confirmed that EGCG is among the most potent dietary activators of cellular repair pathways identified to date. Practical tip: 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily, or 1 serving of matcha. Drink it between meals rather than with food. The compounds absorb more efficiently without food competition. If you go with matcha, ceremonial grade has a meaningfully higher EGCG concentration than culinary grade. Green tea is the quietest longevity ritual on the planet, and it has the science to back it up. These look like almost nothing. Tiny, delicate little threads with a mild, slightly peppery taste. And they contain up to 100 times more of a specific compound than fully grown broccoli does. That compound is sulforaphane. And if you spend any time in longevity research, this word comes up constantly. Here's why. Sulforaphane is one of the most powerful NRF2 activators ever identified in a natural food. And unlike most dietary compounds, its effect is unusually sustained. Studies show that a single dose can keep NRF2 elevated for up to 72 hours. It also directly upregulates autophagy genes, and research has shown it helps clear senescent cells. Those are old, damaged cells that stop dividing but refuse to die, lingering in your tissues and actively promoting inflammation around them. Sulforaphane helps your body identify and remove them. Practical tip: about 2 tablespoons of fresh broccoli sprouts per day hits the research-supported threshold. You can grow them at home in 5 days for almost no cost. Just a jar, some seeds, and water. The critical rule: don't cook them. Heat deactivates the enzyme that converts the precursor compound into active sulforaphane. Eat them raw, in salads, on sandwiches, blended into smoothies. 2 tablespoons, 72 hours of cellular repair. That's one of the best ratios in nutrition science. Look closely at a walnut half. The folded, convoluted shape of it genuinely resembles a brain. And it turns out that's not entirely a coincidence. Walnuts are one of the most neuroprotective foods identified in human studies. But the cellular repair story here is specifically about their gut-brain cell connection. Walnuts are rich in Ellagitannins, a class of polyphenols that your gut bacteria convert into compounds called urolithins. And urolithins do something specific and remarkable. They directly stimulate a targeted form of autophagy called mitophagy, which is the selective recycling of damaged mitochondria. Recall that mitochondria are your cell's power plants. Old, dysfunctional mitochondria don't just produce less energy, they leak toxic free radicals that accelerate cellular aging throughout the body. Urolithins tell your body to clear them out and replace them with fresh ones. A study published in Nature Metabolism in 2019 showed that Urolithin A supplementation directly improved mitochondrial function and muscle endurance in older adults.
Walnuts are one of the best whole food sources of the Ellagittannin precursors your body needs to produce it. Practical tip: a small handful, about 28 grams or 7 to 8 walnut halves, is the daily amount associated with benefit in the research. Eat them with the papery inner skin intact. That's where the majority of the polyphenols sit. Store them in the fridge. Walnut oil oxidizes quickly at room temperature. Walnuts don't just feed your brain. They teach your cells to take out their own trash.
Here's what I find genuinely exciting about all of this. These 5 foods don't just work individually. They work together in ways that are greater than the sum of their parts. Blueberries and broccoli sprouts both activate NRF2, but through different molecular entry points. Eating them together produces a broader, more sustained activation than either one alone could generate. EGCG from green tea and sulforaphane from broccoli sprouts have been shown in cell studies to have a synergistic anti-inflammatory effect, meaning together, their combined impact on inflammation is meaningfully greater than adding their individual effects together. Olive oil's healthy fats improve the absorption of fat-soluble polyphenols found in all 5 of these foods. More bioavailability means more of the active compounds actually reaching your cells. And walnuts' omega-3 fatty acids help reduce systemic inflammation, which is one of the primary conditions that suppresses autophagy. They're clearing the path for the whole system to function. The research term for this kind of multi-pathway, multi-compound effect is polypharmacology. The idea that several compounds acting on several biological targets simultaneously creates outcomes that no single drug or supplement could replicate. Your grandmother probably didn't know that word, but she likely told you to eat more plants and vary what's on your plate. She was right. This is the mechanistic explanation for why she was right.
Here's your one action for this week. Don't try to add all 5 at once. Pick one. Just one. Add a handful of blueberries to breakfast. Switch your cooking oil to a quality extra virgin olive oil. Grow broccoli sprouts on your kitchen counter. It takes 5 days and costs almost nothing. Replace an afternoon coffee with a cup of green tea. Put a small bowl of walnuts on your desk. Small, consistent changes are what move the needle on long-term health. Not overhauls, not protocols, not 72-hour fasts. If this changed the way you think about what food is actually doing inside your body, not as calories, but as biological signals, subscribe. Every week, I break down the research on longevity, cellular health, and human performance into things you can actually do. And drop a comment below. Which of these 5 are you already eating regularly? I read every single one. Take care of yourselves. They're taking care of you right now, whether you notice or not.